So today's video is going to consist of a quick gaming test on the Honor Pad 9, consisting of a little bit of gameplay on Need for Speed No Limits, and then switching over to Asphalt 9, which is a little bit more of a graphic intense game. So we're just going to quickly see how the Snapdragon 6 Gen 1 in the Honor Pad 9 copes with both of those games. So let's do it. Okay, so the first game to play is going to be Need for Speed No Limits. So we'll just tap and see how quickly it takes to load. And of course, this is going to look really great on the 12.1 inch display of the Pad 9. So of course it sports the Snapdragon 6 Gen 1, which is of course a sort of mid to low end processor, but it'll be interesting to see how it copes with a little bit of gaming on Need for Speed. Test out the speakers as well. They do sound pretty good, and let's go. Seems to be handling it pretty well, although I can't say I'm particularly great at this game. Doesn't seem to be any frame drops just yet. This is the bits that I find a bit frustrating, because you've got to just get rid of all of this rubbish. I just want to race. Lead me to it. Right, let's go. Now, I'm not a particularly heavy gamer, which is why I just picked this and Asphalt 9 to do the little test on. But so far, it seems to be doing a pretty good job, unlike me with this. Wow. Well, that was dreadful. Okay, so let's get rid of that, and then let's try a bit of Asphalt 9, which in my experience I found to be a little bit more of a graphic intense game. So it'll be interesting to see how the tablet copes with this. Let's just quickly jump into home, just very quickly jump into the settings, game settings, sound and display. So if we bump the frame rate up to 60, and we'll go with that. Let's just make sure it's stayed on that whilst I've... Yeah, so frame rate at 60. Let's see how the Pad 9 copes with that. We'll play anyway. I did used to play Asphalt 9 quite a bit. So let's see how we get on with a bit of Asphalt 9. Finishing third or better, so let's see if I can manage that. Let's go. Does seem to be handling it pretty well. Haven't noticed any dropped frames or anything like that. I'm in first, which is nice. Now, of course, that was a quick one. Let's do one more just to see how. So let's see how we get on with this next event. Just play anyway for the minute. Welcome to Scotland. Lovely jubbly. This may or may not end well, because my gaming skills aren't typically the best, but let's give it a go. So overall so far I think it's handling these games pretty well. I haven't really noticed any dropped frames, even at that higher frame rate, which is nice. Just for shits and giggles. Have some of that. So, the Snapdragon 6 Gen 1, although it's a low-end chip, I think it's handled that pretty well. So despite the Honor Pad 9 being a pretty entry-level tablet with a basic entry-level chip, the Snapdragon 6 Gen 1, I think it handled those two games pretty well. The higher frame rate on Asphalt 9, I didn't notice any stutters in that game. So yeah, overall it's pretty good for gaming. I'm not a massive gamer, so playing games like Genshin Impact and stuff like that are not something that I typically do, but racing games I will dabble a little bit, and it seemed to handle it pretty well. It's not even warm to the touch, so there wasn't any strain or any thermal issues playing that game on this tablet. So if you want a tablet that's going to be pretty good for some basic gaming, the Pad 9 would be absolutely great. But let me know down in the comments what you think of the gaming play on this tablet, and I'll see you in the next one.